this year's Republic Day was unprecedented. New Delhi rolled out the red carpet for 10 heads of state from ASEAN countries. The celebration showcased the past, the present and the future of India at the majestic Rajpath in the national capital. Here are the best moments.
And as Rajpath resonates to bravery, valor and sacrifice, we can hear the marching tunes that are now going to be the signature of the parade for some time. The first contingent going past the saluting base, bearing the ASEAN and 10 ASEAN countries' flags. And the flags are being carried by a contingent of Rajputana Rifles Regiment of the Indian Army, led by Subedar Aduram Jangu of 2 Rajputana Rifles. The main battle tank of the Indian Army, the T-90 Bhishma, led by Captain Sandeep Vashisht of 19 Armoured Regiment. A highly versatile armoured fighting vehicle, T-90 of Bhishma is fitted with thermal imaging system.
राजपथ पर अगला दस्ता 881 मिसाइल रेजिमेंट की अत्याधुनिक ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल प्रणाली के मोबाइल ऑटोनॉमस सिस्टम का है, जिसका नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं कैप्टन मेघराज यादव.
The first detachment is the Akash weapon system of 27 Air Defence Regiment, led by Captain Shikha Yadav and Captain Muhammad Yunus Khan. The 27 Air Defence Regiment is the first unit of the Indian Army which is being equipped with the Akash weapon system. And now this is a splendid sight and the sound of the exuberance of martial music, the marching contingents. The first marching contingent is the Punjab Regiment, which has the unique honour of being the second highest decorated regiment of the Indian Army, led by Lieutenant Ravi Kant Sharma of 15 Punjab.
राजपथ पर ऑल इंडिया रेडियो यानी आकाशवाणी की झांकी, आकाशवाणी की 8 दशकों की यात्रा और जनसेवा को दर्शाती ये झांकी.
With the front portion of the tableau portraying the Mahabodhi temple and the Bodhi tree at Bodh Gaya, where Gautam Buddha attained enlightenment, this is the second ASEAN-India tableau. Projecting religion is one of the strongest linkages between India and the Southeast Asia.
राजपथ पर आगे बढ़ रही मध्य प्रदेश की झांकी में सांची एक प्रमुख बौद्ध केंद्र को विषय वस्तु बनाया गया है. झांकी के अग्रभाग में महात्मा बुद्ध को बोधि वृक्ष के नीचे उनके 4 शिष्यों के साथ ध्यानस्थ दिखाया गया है.
Our first chief guest, His Excellency, Dr. Thongloun Sisulut, the Prime Minister of the Lao People's Democratic Republic. India and Lao PDR have enjoyed ancient ties of close friendship and cooperation. In fact, post the establishment of official diplomatic relations in 1956, the two nations have grown closer. And this is the arrival at the saluting base of our second chief guest, His Excellency Nguyen Xuan Phuc, Prime Minister of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. India and Vietnam celebrated 2017 as the Year of Friendship, commemorating the 45th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations and the 10th anniversary of their strategic partnership.
हमारी तीसरी सम्मानित अतिथि म्यांमार की स्टेट काउंसिलर आंग सान सूची का आगमन हो रहा है। सलामी मंच पर माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी द्वारा उनका स्वागत। देश के गणतंत्र दिवस के चौथे सम्मानित अतिथि थाईलैंड अधिराज्य के प्रधानमंत्री महामहिम जनरल प्रायुत चान-ओ-चा का आगमन हो चुका है। आप राष्ट्रीय शांति और व्यवस्था परिषद के प्रमुख भी हैं और थाईलैंड में इनकी देखरेख में पिछले वर्षों में शांति और समृद्धि के नए अध्याय लिखे जा चुके हैं।
Our fifth chief guest, His Excellency Dato Sri Mohammed Najib bin Tun Abdul Razak, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, alighting from his car. Our sixth chief guest, His Excellency Lee Hsien Loong, Prime Minister of the Republic of Singapore, being greeted by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. India-Singapore ties have strategic, political, economic and cultural dimensions.
महामहिम हुनसेन 1985 से सत्ता में हैं और संसार में सबसे लंबी अवधि तक प्रधानमंत्री बने रहने वालों में से एक हैं। प्रधानमंत्री महामहिम समदेग तेचो हुनसेन। हमारे अगले सम्मानित अतिथि फिलीपींस गणराज्य के राष्ट्रपति महामहिम श्री रोड्रिगो रोआ दुतेर्ते। उनकी अगवानी की प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने।
Our 10 very special invitees, the heads of the ASEAN states, and everybody now welcoming our 9th chief guest, His Excellency Joko Widodo, the President of the Republic of Indonesia. In fact, the state visit of President Joko Widodo to India in December 2016 re-energized the overall bilateral cooperation agenda and elevated our strategic engagement that spans across defense, security, investments, education, capacity building, and renewed cultural bonding. Arriving at the saluting days, our 10th chief guest, His Majesty, the Prime Minister of Brunei Darussalam, Sultan Haji Hassan Al Bolkiah, greeted warmly by Prime Minister Modi.
It was a colourful ceremony, to say the least. Prime Minister Narendra Modi may have set a record when his editorial appeared on the same day in 27 newspapers in 10 ASEAN nations. The editorial reflected on the uncertainty and turbulence of the present day. It called for free and open pathways, an unmistakable reference to China's claims in the South China Sea, and underscored the many economic opportunities India offered.
"27 newspapers, 10 languages, 10 countries. Some numbers are hard to beat because it's the first time any Prime Minister had his editorial appear in that many newspapers, in 10 languages across 10 ASEAN member states. Clearly, some person or persons have been doing a lot of creative thinking to make the India-ASEAN Commemorative Summit in New Delhi memorable and different. Having 10 ASEAN heads of state as guests of honour during the Republic Day parade was memorable and different. So also Narendra Modi's editorial appearing in 27 newspapers across the ASEAN region on the same day. His message was simple and direct. Sample this from the Singapore Straits Times. India and ASEAN nations have relations free from contests and claims. We have a common vision for the future, built on commitment to inclusion and integration, belief in sovereign equality of all nations, irrespective of size, and support for free and open pathways of commerce and engagement. The reference to China's muscle flexing in the South China Sea cannot be missed. The same editorial featured in Indonesia's Jakarta Post and Global New Light of Myanmar. Sample these other lines. Indians have always looked east to see the nurturing sunrise and the light of opportunities. Now, as before, the East or the Indo-Pacific region will be indispensable to India's future and our common destiny. ASEAN-India partnership will play a defining role in both. The Prime Minister underscored the ease of doing business in India, the energy and enterprise of its young population, and ticked off areas where India and ASEAN could partner, such as infrastructure and urbanization, agriculture and environment, digital technology, innovation and connectivity. At a time of change and disruption, the Prime Minister said India and ASEAN had a responsibility to chart a steady course, navigating through uncertainty and turbulence to a stable and peaceful future. Bureau Report, WION.
One of the common themes of the tableaus today was Buddhism. It's something that binds India and ASEAN nations. And just like Prime Minister Modi leveraged it during his visit to Sri Lanka last summer, India has highlighted this thread again to show the natural affinity it has with the people of ASEAN states. Two tableaus made by the Ministry of External Affairs showcased historical, civilizational and religious links. One depicted the Nalanda University, which is based in the Union state of Bihar. The Nalanda University, remember, was known around the world as the center for Buddhist studies in ancient times. Another tableau portrayed the Mahabodhi temple and the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya. This is where Lord Buddha attained enlightenment. The tableau from Himachal Pradesh featured Buddha in meditation with some stupas and monks. Similarly, a tableau from the state of Madhya Pradesh featured Buddha sitting in meditation under the Bodhi tree with 4 of his disciples. India-ASEAN ties stand on 3 pillars: commerce, connectivity and culture. Teachings from Buddhism have a deep influence on people in ASEAN nations, and this is one of the reasons why India has made a pitch to develop a trans-border Buddhist circuit across South and Southeast Asia to enable more pilgrims to travel to these religious sites. Another highlight was India's military might. It was a moment of pride for all who were watching when indigenously developed military hardware under the government's Make in India project was on display for the world to see.
In the last decade, India has taken significant strides in indigenous weapons development. Under the Modi government's Make in India project. The efforts of Indian engineers and military personnel were on display during this year's Republic Day parade. The Ashwini radar, developed by India's Defence Research and Development Organisation or DRDO, was showcased during the parade. This radar is capable of operating 5,000 meters above sea level and is an asset for India in mountain warfare. Rudra, India's first attack helicopter, made its maiden appearance this year. This is a light combat helicopter manufactured for the Indian Army by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, which is a state-owned aerospace and defence company.
The captains of the other 2 helicopters, Wing Commander A. Kulkarni and Wing Commander B. Bishnoi.
The Rudra helicopter can be deployed in a wide range of missions, including reconnaissance, troop transport, anti-tank warfare and close air support. The Akash weapon system was also part of the Republic Day parade this year. This is India's first air defense system. It was developed by the DRDO to guard the country against any incoming aerial threats. The Akash weapon system can fire short-range surface-to-air missiles and is part of the 27th Air Defence Regiment. The Nirbhay missile, which is another achievement of the DRDO, was also showcased during the parade. The Nirbhay is a long-range subsonic cruise missile, which can fly at low altitudes without being detected by enemy radars.
Indigenously developed.
The Swati weapon locating radar was also sighted. This radar is completely designed and developed in India. Swati can detect and track incoming artillery, mortar rounds, rockets and rocket launchers. Bureau Report, WION.
मार्च 1966 में हुआ था। बैटरी का आदर्श वाक्य।
US President Donald Trump is headed back to the United States after delivering the closing address at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Expectations from the president's maiden speech at the summit were high. After all, he has in the past railed against free trade and immigration. But what followed was largely conciliatory. Mr. Trump said that he supported free trade as long as it was fair and reciprocal. He also appeared moderate in his approach to globalization, sending out a strong message to business leaders that the US is open for business. Calling this the best time to invest in the American dream, Mr. Trump added that his motto of America first does not equal America alone.
I'm here to deliver a simple message. There has never been a better time to hire, to build, to invest, and to grow in the United States. America is open for business, and we are competitive once again. The American economy is by far the largest in the world, and we've just enacted the most significant tax cuts and reform in American history. I believe in America. As President of the United States, I will always put America first, just like the leaders of other countries should put their country first also. But America first does not mean America alone. When the United States grows, so does the world. American prosperity has created countless jobs all around the globe, and the drive for excellence, creativity, and innovation in the U.S. has led to important discoveries that help people everywhere live more prosperous and far healthier lives.
But as has come to be expected from Trump's public appearances, he did receive a round of boos. He lashed out at the media once again during the Q&A session, which not surprisingly did not go down well with the media gathered. And here's what he said.
Always seem to get, for whatever reason, a disproportionate amount of press or media. And throughout my whole life, somebody will explain someday why, but I've always gotten a lot. And as a businessman, I was always treated really well by the press. You know, the numbers speak and things happen, but I've always really had a very good press. And it wasn't until I became a politician that I realized how nasty, how mean, how vicious, and how fake the press can be as the cameras start going off in the background.
And tonight on Gravitas Frontline, we show you India's military might, which was on display at this year's Republic Day parade only this morning. From indigenously made weapons to the BSF's first all-women biking team and the spectacular display by the Indian Air Force. world's most powerful man, Donald Trump, and his wife, Melania, after visiting a museum in New York City, had their eyes set on a Van Gogh masterpiece. But what they've been offered is something which is worth its weight in gold, quite literally. Take a look.
There are few things which money can't buy. And in the case of Donald Trump, the flamboyant US president, who also happens to be a billionaire and has an ultra-lavish lifestyle, one would think there are few things beyond him. But not quite. So here's the situation. Donald Trump and Melania Trump are charmed by a certain Van Gogh painting at the Guggenheim Museum, which isn't up for sale. The painting, which goes by the name Landscape with Snow, depicting a man and dog, is what Donald and Melania thought is just the thing for their private living quarters at the White House. So if you can't buy it, well, perhaps you can ask to see if you can borrow it, which is exactly what the US president did. The curator of the Guggenheim Museum, Nancy Spector, who has been a vocal critic of Donald Trump, wasn't quite in the mood to oblige. According to reports in the US media, Guggenheim Museum instead has offered to loan an 18-carat solid and fully functional toilet made of gold on a long-term basis for the president. The golden toilet has a name as well. It's called America and is designed by an Italian artist, Maurizio Catalan, and is estimated to be worth a sweet $1 million. According to the toilet's designer, it is actually meant to draw the attention of the visitors to the greedy instinct of the capitalism-driven economy of the US. Presently, the golden toilet is installed as a showpiece at the museum's restroom. It is believed to be fragile but very valuable. If the US president were to accept the offer, it could also be put to good use at the White House. Donald Trump is said to have a fascination for the color gold. The inner decor of his Trump Towers is notorious for being lavishly gilded. The White House so far has not responded on this latest controversy, but the question is, will the US president accept the Guggenheim Museum's offer and get the golden toilet installed at the White House? What do you think? Should he? Bureau Report, WION.